Alright, here I have 1/2 x plus 1/2 x equals to 10. Now here I'm trying to find out what x is. And I have an equal sign here. So with that equal sign here, I know that I could multiply each term by a number in order to get rid of this denominator. So I have to look for the greatest common factor between the denominators 2 and 3. And the greatest common factor between the two is 6. So I could multiply each term here by 6. Now when I multiply each term by 6, I go 6 divided by 2. That denominator now crosses out, and I'm going to be left with 6 divided by 2, a 3 here. So I'm going to have 3, then what's in the bracket still 1x. Then here, 6 divided by 3, this 3 then cancels out, and I'm going to be left with 2 here, so add by 2, and then what's left in the brackets, equals to 6 times by 10. I'm going to have a 60 here. So let's clean this up here. I have 3 times by 1x, 3x, add by 2 times 1x, 2x equals 60. Now combine like terms here. I have 2 x's here, so 3x plus 2x is going to give me a 5x equals 60. I want to get x by itself. There's still a 5 here, so in order to get rid of that 5, I have to divide by 5 from both sides. No more 5 in the left hand side. I'm going to have an x equaling to 60 divided by 5, 12. And there's my answer. Alright, for this question I have 2a over 3 minus a over 2 equals to 2. So I'm going to multiply each term by its greatest common factor between the two denominators here, 3 and 2. So between 3 and 2, the greatest common factor is 6. So I'm going to multiply each one by 6. Then 6 divided by 3, that cancels out the 3 in the bottom, and I'm left with a 2. I'm going to have 2, and then what's in the brackets, 2a minus 6 divided by 2 cancels out the 2 in the denominator, and I'm going to be left with 3. So that's minus 3, and then what's left in the brackets, just an a, equals to 6 times by 2, that's 12. Okay, now clean this up again. So I have 2 times 2a, that's 4a, minus 3a equals to 12. Combine like terms, 4 minus 3, that's just 1a, or just a, equals to 12. There's my answer. Alright, here I have 3 over 5 times by, in brackets, 2x plus 15 equals to 3. I'm going to multiply here each term by 5. Here by 5, and I multiply this here by 5. Notice that I multiplied this whole term by 5, and I didn't break it up. Like, I didn't have a bracket here and a bracket here and multiplied it by 5. Okay? If there was a plus sign here or a negative sign here that separates these two terms, then I would do this. But since there is no addition or subtraction, this multiplication is seen as one term, so I would just multiply this whole thing here by 5. So anyways, back to this. Here I have 5 divided by 5. That cancels out both 5s, and I'm just left with what's in the square bracket, which is 3 in brackets 2x plus 15 equals to 3 times by 5, 15. Distribute this 3 to every term in the bracket. I have 6x from 3 times by 2x. Add by 3 times by 15. It's going to give me 45 equals to 15. Then I'm going to take over this 45 over to the other side because it's letters on the left, numbers on the right. So I'm going to minus 45 here. I'm going to also minus 45 here. So this here cancels out, and I'm left with 6x on the left hand side equals to 15 minus 45. I'm going to get negative 30. Then I'm going to divide this guy here by 6 because I want to get rid of this 6 here. And when I divide by 6, that's gone. What you do on one side, you have to do to the other side. So I'm going to have divide by 6 here. And I'm going to be left with x equals to 30 minus 6 equals to negative 5. And that's my answer. Alright, so here I have x plus 7 over 6 add by 1 over 2 equals x minus 2 over 4. So again, I want to get rid of these denominators here, and I have an equal sign, so I could actually multiply each term by greatest common factor to get rid of those denominators. So I'm going to have here 6, 2, and 4. The greatest common factor between all three is a 12. So I'm going to multiply each term by 12. Then I have 12 divided by 6. That cancels out the 6, and I'm going to be left with just a 2. So I'm going to have 2, then what's in the brackets? X plus 7. Then 12 divided by 2. No more 2 in the bottom there, and I'm going to be left with just 6. And then what's in the brackets? 1 equals to 12 and 4 then cancels out, and I'm going to be left with just a 3. 3 in brackets x minus 2. Now I'm going to distribute my terms outside the brackets. So I have 2 times by x is just 2x. 2 times by 7, add by 14. Then 6 times by 1, that's just going to be 6, equals to 3 times by x, 3x. And then 3 times by negative 2, a positive and a negative will give me a negative. 3 times 2 is 6. So let's clean this up here. I have 2x still, and I'm going to combine 14 and 6, which is going to give me a 20. Then write everything else. So letters on the left, numbers on the right. So I'm going to have negative 20 here because I'm going to move this number over to the right hand side. So no more 20 there. 2x equals to 3x. Negative 6, negative 20, that's going to be negative 26. Then let's move over this 3x over to the other side. I'm going to have minus 3x here, minus 3x here. I'm going to be left with 2x minus 3x is going to give me a negative x, or negative 1x, equals to negative 26. And I want to get rid of that negative because technically there's still a 1 here. So I'm going to divide this by negative 1, divide this side by negative 1 so I could get rid of that negative. And I'm just going to have x equals to negative divided by negative is going to give me a positive. 26 divided by 1, 26. And there's my answer. Alright, so here I have 4m over 5 add by m minus 1 over 2 equals 5m over 2. So again, I have an equal sign here, and I have these denominators. So the fact that there's an equal sign here, I know that I could multiply each term here by the greatest common factor to get rid of those denominators. So between 5 and 2, the greatest common factor is a 10. So I'm going to multiply each by 10. Okay, so 10 divided by 5, I'm going to cross out that 5, and I'm going to be left with just 2. 2. So I have here 2, 4m. 10 divided by 2, that's going to give me 5. So add by 5, m minus 1, whatever is left in the brackets, equals to, cross out that 10, I'm going to be left with a 5 again. 5, and then what's left in the brackets? 5m. Okay, so let's clean this up and distribute whatever's outside the bracket to every term within the bracket. So I'm going to have here 8m, add by 5 times by m, 5m, 5 times by negative 1, negative 5, equals to 5 times by 5m is 25m. Then let's clean this up here. I have 8m plus 5m, so then I'm going to be left with 13m minus 5 equals to 25m. Letters on the left, numbers on the right. So I'm going to move this 5 over to the other side. So I'm going to add 5 here, add 5 here. I'm going to be left with 13m on the left hand side. Then 25m, add by 5. Then I'm going to get rid of this 25m. I'm going to move it over to the left hand side. So I'm going to have negative 25m, negative 25m. 13m minus 25m is going to give me negative 12m, equals to just the 5 because this guy's gone. Then I'm going to divide by negative 12 to get rid of this negative 12 beside the m. And I'm going to divide this side by negative 12. That's gone, and I'm just left with m equaling to negative 5 over 12. And there's my answer.